Hey, what's going on, NGT community? It's Guns4HIRE from NextGenTactics, and we're going to be taking a look at Crysis 2, the demo exclusively available on the Xbox 360. In this video, we're going to take a look at Team Instant Action, kind of the team deathmatch of Crysis 2. Well, as mentioned already, Team Instant Action is basically the team deathmatch of Crysis 2 multiplayer. I'm going to talk about some comparisons of other games, well-known games, and the only reason why I'm going to do that is because it's the easiest way to sort of give you an idea or give you the taste of what the gameplay is like without actually having to actually play it. I mean, if you've got an Xbox 360, the demo is free and you can play it no problem, but if you're a PS3 gamer or PC gamer, you don't have that opportunity, and since I have both systems, the Xbox 360 and PS3, it allows me to sort of give insight to the rest of you PS3 gamers, and for the most part PC gamers, although your platform is usually very, very different and unique compared to consoles. So anyway, the three that I'm going to give in comparisons, and not necessarily specific games, but the developers or the sort of franchise in the games. One is Call of Duty, the other is Battlefield. Battlefield, Bad Company, Killzone type games. I know it's a completely different developer. And Halo. And what's unique about this game, and the reason why I have to bring in three, when I bring in all three, that should tell you that this game and the multiplayer in this is quite unique. Now, it takes a little bit of getting used to, number one, because of that combination, which sounds a little strange, but it's very, very true, and you may sort of, hopefully you can see this. Oh, look at that. I love the kill cams, too. I think they're kind of cool. They kind of go all Matrix on you, and I think that's kind of a neat little thing. It's nothing, like, super amazing, like, wow, but, whatever. These tiny little added things make it kind of interesting. Anyway, the three games there, Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield, and this is how I'm going to describe it. It's got game mechanics, sort of futuristic mechanics, including these sort of low-gravity jumps that you're able to do in this game, very similar to Halo. The Halo series, the Halo jumping and stuff like that, which is famous by now. But it's got the game engine and the movement of it is very, very similar to what I would say Battlefield, Bad Company, to Killzone, that type of franchise, where it's a little bit meant to be, I know they describe it as realistic, but I'd like to get away from realistic because it's not necessarily realistic. It's just the style that they've chosen. It's that weightiness. There's a little bit of sluggishness to it. I kind of even hesitate to say sluggishness because it sounds like I'm putting it down, and I don't think so. Actually, for me, I'd love to start becoming a little more acclimatized to this gameplay style, only because I find that the gameplays and the tactics, like especially with D-Crew Colin, who is one of our newest partners on NextGenTactics, I mean, I watch his videos, and I played Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I played Killzone 2, and in all honesty, I mean, the strategy and the tactics involved in those games is way beyond what is offered or even available on Call of Duty type games. And you'll hear that a lot. I mean, you'll see comments with people saying, well, there is no strategy in Call of Duty, which isn't true. They're just angry little, whatever, fanboys of whatever else. I mean, there is strategy involved in Call of Duty, no doubt, but it's just completely different. It's on a different level. Maybe it's the skim milk version of strategies, and then you got games like Battlefield Bad Company and Killzone, which is kind of the homogenized milk. It's the whole milk, thick and almost like a friggin' thick table cream. You know what I mean? It's got the real components of strategy in it. And I think this game is actually attempting, and I don't have enough gameplay, enough maps, and the other game styles to really do a true assessment of this. But I think what they're trying to do here is give that combination. And I think of all the games that I've seen out so far, I think Crysis 2 really has done the best job of trying to bring in the components of three huge gaming titles. It's got the small maps, the action, and the sort of that modern warfare type feel that Call of Duty has. tight quarters, constant action, because there really is a lot of action in this. It brings in futuristic components that Halo has, like the increased armor, the cloaking ability, the Halo style jumping, and believe me, none of these are bad. Like, it all seems to really gel well together, in all honesty. I'm gonna tell you right now, though, with the Call of Duty fans, you're gonna have some problems adjusting. Over here, we're switching over here. This was the first custom weapon. I was just trying some weapons out, and this is an LMG. So this is like an M60, like a futuristic M60. Performs almost the exact same as a normal M60 LMG in like a Call of Duty. And there you can see, that increased armor is kind of like a beehive type, webbing around your interface there, or your screen, and that indicates that your armor's on. And you also notice that I just clinched there because that is my patented move. This really, and this is an early game too, so both games were really early. I played it actually more and more, and the more I played it, in all honesty, the more I started really getting into it, and I really liked it. However, I shouldn't say the only, but a sort of a huge deterrent for a lot of gamers, I think, is going to be, and I think that maybe it is a bad combination, or maybe it's just something we got to get used to. It's just not a usual combination for this game style. Well, there's an example of a Halo jump. Anyway, the combination of the type of gameplay engine, similar to Battlefield Bad Company, Killzone, that sort of, or Medal of Honor for those of you that played that and didn't buy the other games. So it's that same sort of feel to it in a Call of Duty sort of close-knit type game, and those two don't necessarily go hand in hand. The Medal of Honor maps were a bit bigger. The Battlefield Bad Company maps are huge, but they complement that game style. You know what I mean? That responsiveness, so that you could actually be a little more tactical. It's not all about run and gunning. So for those of you that are looking for pure run and gunning, yes, it is possible on this, and yes, you can get really good at it. It's just going to take a little bit of getting used to, because it is, Medal of Honor or Battlefield Bad Company style gameplay. So the two are, it's an odd combination, because normally smaller, tight-knit maps and that sort of game style, or game engine style rather, aren't necessarily the greatest combination. So it makes a bit of an adjustment here, but definitely harder, because if you have a transition, if you're a Call of Duty, most of the audience there is all like, if you don't run and gun, then you don't know how to play the game properly, which I absolutely disagree with. But nonetheless, that is a huge consensus of the actual gaming community, and therefore, that's the way it's usually played. Everyone wants that fast, responsive, SMG type run around corner, just blasting everybody, and that's the way it is. Whereas that's what they're attempting to do here, because these maps are pretty small. I look at this map, and this map is actually pretty damn small. But the action is very, very fast and very intense. The spawning system I haven't really even figured out yet, which is good. I think maybe the spawning system is probably adequate. It's in such a manner that you have no idea where the hell the enemy is going to be popping up. Or maybe that's just the fact that your own teammates are scattered so much that you're going to end up, popping up random places, and maybe that's what's occurring here. But I do love the mix of the increased armor, which is what that armor shield you'll see, and the camouflage, which looks like Predator. Now I get owned a lot here, because there's no place in here. It's funny, when you're playing this, there's no place on this map where you can almost get like 2 or 3 consecutive kills. It's not like Call of Duty, where you can find those places and actually, for the most part, camp. Like, there's no camping in this. I've seen the odd person maybe stationed in one place trying to get sort of camping type kills, and they just get annihilated. They may nail one person, but they are quickly eradicated by the rest of the team, just by the spawn system and the size of the maps. Anyway, in the next video, I'm going to give you an example of Crash Site, which is a new game type similar to Headquarters, and I'm going to talk about your energy and how it's utilized in this game. Make sure you stay tuned for part 2 of Crysis 2 Demo Review. I'm GUNNS4HIRE from NextGenTactics. Thanks for watching. Get the latest updates and stay in touch with the NGT community with our all-new Facebook application. Check the description of the video for details.